Hi, I'm Chris. I'm here with my 1964 Corvair Greenbrier Sports Wagon Deluxe, and I'm going to share with you my top 5 pet peeves with this van. The Chevy Corvair was produced for 10 years between 1960 and 1969. During that period, Chevy produced both the van, car, truck, and a station wagon version of the Corvair. The van version was produced for a 5-year period between 1961 and 1965. About 58,000 of these Greenbriers were built during that period of time. All Corvairs have the unique distinction of being the first American designed and produced rear-wheel drive air-cooled vehicle. All Corvairs shared the same basic engine design. They were all flat 6 horizontally opposed engines. They started in size at 145 cubic inches and were later enlarged to 164 cubic inches. Horsepower ranged between 80 as a low all the way up to 180 for the turbocharged model. The highest horsepower option you could get for a van was 110 horsepower, and that's exactly my first pet peeve. Alright, we're going to make a 0 to 50 mile per hour pass. We're going to see what 110 horsepower can do, and I'm going to lay it all out, full throttle all the way. Here we go. Let the clutch out fast. Full throttle all the way down. Shift into second. Full throttle. Wind it out. Into third. There it is, 50. Right. A second pass from 0 to 50 miles an hour. Let the clutch out hard. Full throttle. Into second. Wind it out. Into third, full throttle all the way down, and 50. Let's go to 60. Let's see what it can do. Oh, come on, baby. There we go. Woo! It's low. I've got about 4 inches of clearance between my head and the ceiling. And even after 7 years of driving and owning this van, I still bang my head on the door frame getting in and out. Shifter clatter. The shift linkage on this van runs about 8 feet from the shifter to the transaxle in the rear. It takes a delicate balance of throttle and clutch in order to avoid the clatter. And once you think you got it mastered, you don't. The stance on a stock Corvair van is nose high, plus you sit over top the front wheels, all making for a bouncy ride in the front seat. Some van owners, they've replaced the front springs and shocks with units from an early Mustang. I instead cut one full coil from each front spring, lowering the front by about 2 inches. This also helped level the ride and take out a lot of the bounce, but there's still plenty of bouncing going on in here. This Greenbrier has an independent rear suspension, and it's a swing axle design, much like the Volkswagen Beetle. Because of that design, you can get all kinds of crazy camber angle changes causing squirrely handling problems. Typically, what you'd want to do with the tire pressure is provide a 10-pound differential between the front and the rear. The Corvair vans are considered forward control vehicles because you sit over top the front wheels. In all FC vehicles, oversteer easily occurs in parking lot maneuvers too. It takes some driving practice and discipline to avoid curb rash and other scrapes from parking lot curbs. So there you have it. They're my top 5 quirks of owning a Greenbrier. So even though I've cracked my head on the ceiling a few times, I've scraped my ear on the door frame, and I get passed by nearly every car on the highway, I wouldn't trade those quirks for anything else. That's what makes owning a vintage car and this Greenbrier so endearing. It all harks back to another time when the term minivan wasn't even invented yet.